Saving money. It seems like such a simple concept, but here's the thing. Go Banking Rates recently came out with data saying that 69% of Americans don't have enough money in a savings account to cover a $1,000 expense. Now, I don't know about you, but that is so uneasy if I were to be in a situation where I'm not able to put enough money away to cover a $1,000 expense. And I know that a lot of people are in extreme, extraneous situations where it's really hard for them to put money together. But for 69% of Americans, I feel like that's way too high.
What do you say, son? You want to be an assassin?
Yes.
What number you want to wear?
69! Take the number 69! It's hilarious!
So in this video here today, I want to talk about a number of things that I've done in order to maximize my savings. Goal in mind, I was looking to save up for a down payment on a house, and I feel like I finally hit that mark. I've accumulated around 30 grand in a little bit over a year. So I want to talk about the 5 steps, the 5 most important things to me when it came to saving money. So if you're interested in learning more, then definitely stick around for the rest of the video. And if you're new here, my name is Dalton, and this is D-Lits TV. I got my tax return today. It only took them like, 10, 11 months. But I got my tax return back today, and I'm on the topic of saving money, so put that right in the bank, and let's get to the video. I don't know what it is, guys. With all these YouTubers and their fascination with gourmet coffee, I decided it's time to bring hot water to be the next trend. No, in all reality, I actually don't even drink coffee myself, and that in itself saves me a ton of money. So really, that kind of wraps up the video, guys. Thanks for checking it out. Don't spend money on coffee. No, but in all seriousness, that really did help my bank account out all throughout life. But the first tip that I have for you guys is to take advantage of the situation at hand. As an example, when I graduated college, my mom said, hey, why don't you move back home? I won't charge you rent, and you can establish yourself before going out and get yourself a property. And I said, you know what? I really want to get my own apartment. I want to move closer to the city and figure out my life in my own way.
You stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
And looking back, boy, oh boy, was she right. That one stubborn decision that I made kind of set me back big time. I mean, my rent was $800 to $900, we'll call it $850. So over the course of a year, that's like $10,200 alone in rent. Then on top of that, you got utilities, you've got, gas for the distance that you're traveling now, and all of these different things factored in. And I really wasn't putting it all in perspective at first, and I didn't understand where I wanted to head in life in general. And I really, after that, started to get into rental properties, into real estate stuff, and I just realized how bad of a choice that was for me in the past. So if you can take advantage of that situation, you can take advantage of any situation that you're given that really gives you a leg up to establish yourself financially, I would highly recommend doing that. I really think this hot water thing is going to catch on. Now, tip number 2 is to write down all of your expenses. And this is the most hands-on part of this process. And really, this was the part that I've always dreaded. I've always known that I needed to identify my expenses, write them all down. But I really was blown away at just how much this did for me. So I'd recommend going back, looking at your bank statements as I did. I was using TD Bank. They have a great online application that you can go into and basically see your transactions one by one. Now, first I identified what I was spending money on, and right off the bat, there were a few subscriptions in there that I had signed up for in college but forgot to cancel and was getting the student discount before, but now being charged full price. I actually got refunded on a few of those, but that was literally adding up to be around $80 a month. Another huge expense for me at the time was my rent payment. And since then, I've actually moved in with my girlfriend, and we are back at her mom's house right now. So my rent is significantly less. I do still pay just a little bit really to cover the expenses that I have living here. It's around $350 total. So right then and there, that's an extra $500 in my pocket. 2 areas that really were identified that did a huge help into my savings. Now, one more area that I really focused on as an expense was my cell phone bill. And if you didn't know, I just recently put out this video here where I talk about how I saved $987 on my phone phone bill every single year. So if you're curious how I'm doing it, then I'd go check that out. I'm able to save a ton more money from that, and that has worked out so well for me. But be sure you write down every expense that you have, whether it's utilities, maybe insurance, all of these things, and figure out one by one if there's a way that you can chip away at it and make it a less expensive item. Now, one aspect that you can save a ton of money on as well as an expense is in the food category. So I used to go out to eat with friends all the time, and when I wasn't working remotely in person, I would pretty much go out to lunch every single day. Now, as you can imagine, that was a huge expense for me, and it's something that I struggle with to this day. My girlfriend and I like to go out to eat. So what? It's a flaw.
Hey, you want to go get Chinese food?
Okay. Wonder if they have hot water there. Now, before I go on with the next tip, I know that you're not subscribed to this channel. 96% of the viewers are unsubscribed, so make sure you click that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification. I don't know what I need to do. I have dignity, guys. I'm not gonna get on my knees and beg. All right, now the third tip that I have for you guys deals directly with how you manage your money. I call this the 3-account system. And how it works is essentially you have 3 different banking accounts. You have 2 savings accounts and 1 checking account. Whenever you are paid, whenever you get your paycheck, it goes into your checking account. And on that very day, you sign into your account and you distribute the money. So I like to have an emergency fund in one of the checking accounts that's easily accessible. So I linked it with the checking account so I could easily withdraw the funds if I ever needed to. If anything came up, I just knew in the back of my mind that I had $1,000 ready to go. And the savings account was a little bit harder to access. It took a few days to transfer the money, but that was because it was in a high interest savings account where I was making a lot more money in that account if it was just sitting in a checking account. So essentially what I did in that checking account was set $1,000 to be my net zero balance, and I set a budget. And anytime I went below that $1,000, I would need to spend less money the next month in order to recoup some of the loss. And all of my excess money would go into that savings account. So it was super simple, really straightforward way of handling your money, but it really changed a lot for me. All right, so one really quick and really simple way to make more money is just to go through your old useless crap and part ways with it. I sold so much stuff in a very short amount of time, and you know the old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. It definitely lies true. I mean, you can see crazy things go on for sale. I mean, potato chips sell for tens of thousands of dollars when they look like people's faces. I'm pretty sure there's a service out there that I've seen that allows you to sell used sweaty socks. So if anyone's interested in buying my socks, just let me know. But in all seriousness, this is just a really great way that you can get extra income coming in. When I got my camera for YouTube, that's basically what I did. I went around, I picked up all my old stuff, sold it, and then bam, just like that, about a week later, I had enough money to purchase the camera in full. All right, now lastly, and something that has really changed my life is I actually implemented the 3-day rule. And what this is essentially you add anything that you want to buy, anything that looks interesting to you, anything you're like, oh my God, I totally need this. You add it to your cart online. And you wait 3 days. And now in that 3 days, what I found is I usually talked myself out of buying whatever object I had put in there. I didn't really need it. It was just kind of unnecessary. And I make a lot of these impulse buys normally, but this really restricts the ability of doing that. And I think so many people out there do the same thing where they see something, they want it, they gotta have it, they buy it, and then they just never use it. So this really helps eliminate that. So that's really it. Those are the 5 tips, the 5 things that really allowed me to save around $30,000 the first year that I graduated outside of college. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button. Thanks.